Surrender? We'll see. The government shutdown is now stretching into its third consecutive week, and tensions in Washington are only getting worse. Several Democrats in Congress are quietly trying to open negotiations with Republicans to get the government running again. Behind the scenes, there's growing talk that Chuck Schumer might finally be ready to back down. The pressure on him from within his own party is intense, and it's starting to show. At the same time, the country is in the middle of a deep healthcare crisis, one that threatens to hurt tens of millions of Americans. Yet President Donald Trump seems completely unwilling to address it. Instead of facing the issue, he's once again boarded Air Force One and flown off overseas. Democrats in Congress say they reached out asking for a sit-down to discuss solutions, but Trump refused. So instead of engaging, he's choosing avoidance. It's become his way of dodging accountability. Out of sight, out of reach. It's hard to imagine a leader more out of touch with the struggles of working Americans. People are dealing with rising prices, unaffordable insurance, and job uncertainty, while the president is traveling abroad. Today, on the Senate floor, Chuck Schumer tried to place the blame for the shutdown entirely on Trump and the Republicans, accusing them of ignoring the suffering of ordinary citizens. But let's be honest. This is the same routine we've seen for years. Every time there's a crisis, Democrats rush to the cameras to blame Republicans. This time, though, it might be backfiring. Recent polls show public opinion shifting. Even CNN, one of the most left-leaning outlets, has admitted that Trump's approval rating has gone up during the shutdown. Americans seem to view him as being more productive, while Democrats appear to be stuck in endless political theater. Schumer, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Hakeem Jeffries keep repeating the same talking points, but voters are tuning them out. Republicans, on the other hand, have drawn a clear line. No more reckless spending. They rejecting the Democrats, push for another $2 trillion spending package at a time when America's national debt is approaching $38 trillion. Adding more fuel to that fire could trigger a financial collapse. Trump and congressional Republicans say their goal is to prevent exactly that. They're calling for fiscal responsibility, for cutting unnecessary programs and scaling back bloated budgets. Even though the last spending bill wasn't perfect, it delivered several important wins, and conservatives want to keep pushing for deeper cuts. Meanwhile, whispers in Washington suggest Schumer's grip on power is slipping. Democrats are divided internally, and some of their most radical members are reportedly frustrated that their leadership hasn't been able to outmaneuver Trump. Many insiders believe Schumer's influence in D.C. could be nearing its end. And while this political drama unfolds, families across the country are just trying to make ends meet. Parents are sitting at their kitchen tables wondering how to cover rent, groceries, or medical bills while Washington fights over power. Schumer's team continues to accuse Trump of slashing health care funding. And yet those same Democrats supported the largest health care cuts in modern history. Rural hospitals are closing, small clinics are running out of resources, and Americans are watching it happen in real time. A new Gallup poll is a wake-up call. Voters are exhausted. They're fed up with the high costs of living, corruption, and constant dysfunction in Washington. Every week the shutdown continues. More people are blaming both parties, but Democrats seem to be taking the bigger hit. Now, Senator Ron Johnson has introduced a new proposal, known as the Johnson Bill. Republicans say it's designed to protect pay for military and essential federal workers during the shutdown. But Democrats are pushing back hard. They claim the bill gives Trump too much control over who gets paid and who doesn't. They argue it's unfair. For the White House, this proposal is a way to show that they still governing while Democrats are refusing to negotiate. Republicans argue that Democrats are the ones holding the country hostage, refusing to reopen the government unless they get their $2 trillion wish list of progressive spending priorities. Let's be real. This fight isn't about keeping the government open. It's about control. Democrats know that if the American people see Trump and Republicans win this standoff, their entire political strategy collapses. And while Schumer stands in front of cameras pretending to fight for the average worker, he's behind closed doors pushing for open border policies, climate spending, and benefits for undocumented immigrants, all of it paid for by the taxpayer. Republicans have voted multiple times to fund essential services, pay military members, and keep federal workers afloat. But every time, Democrats in the Senate have blocked those efforts. They'd rather keep the government shut down than let Trump claim a win. Trump's team is holding firm. They believe America needs discipline, not endless debt. And despite media outrage, it's a message that seems to be resonating with a large share of the public. Even some independents are siding with Republicans this time, saying they're tired of Washington spending sprees that never end. Now, it's true. Both parties have their extremes. There are radicals on the left and fringe voices on the right. But in general, the Republican Party under Trump's leadership has stayed consistent. No more forever wars, no more blank checks, no more excuses. He is applying pressure abroad, in places like Venezuela and China, and pushing back against global bureaucracies that have long taken advantage of the United States. That's the contrast voters are seeing. Democrats look divided and desperate for control, while Republicans appear focused and unified around their economic message. So as this standoff drags on, one thing is becoming clear. The American people are paying attention. They can tell who's playing games and who's actually trying to protect their interests. Schumer can keep making speeches, but the reality is shifting. More Americans believe the Republican Party is standing up for the country's future. For jobs, for stability, for lower spending, and for security. Trump's critics can call him whatever they want, but they can't deny that his administration has stayed on message. Protect the economy, defend American workers, and refuse to cave to political games. At the end of the day, it's the people who will decide how long this shutdown lasts and who they'll hold responsible when it ends. So, what do you think? Is this fight about money, power, or principle? Will the government reopen soon, or are we in for a long standoff? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And, as always, thank you for watching USA and Canada Today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps us grow and continue bringing you the truth behind the headlines. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.